Alright guys, welcome back. So, I've not made a video for a few days, but that's mainly because I've been over absolutely no life in New World on SJ Gaming Live. So if you want to see me live stream, check out that channel, links in the description, and I'll put a card up the top. But we are talking about WoW, and I've not seen anyone really talking about it to say what you get from it. And I'm talking about how you can get pre-raid bis, cloak, and neck. And obviously, if you're playing actively, you know I'm talking about Lord of Hoon already. But I just want to go over the Midsummer Fire Festival, you know, where you get your 10% XP buff, how you get to summon Lord of Hoon in slave pens, by the way. So on normal, it drops these capes, cloaks, whatever you want to call them, and on heroic, it drops these necks. There is an enchanting recipe that if you're an enchanter, you'll probably want to get hold of, because obviously there's only limited time once a year to be able to get it. And also the staff's quite nice. It just looks nice. I'm not saying it's got the most amazing stats, but still, you know, it might be better than what you're using. And as I say, if we're talking pre-raid or just items for alts, you know, this is fantastic. And on the basis you can now get 10% XP as well, it's probably a good time to level your alts. I know 10% is not massive, but it's still better than nothing. And just before we jump in, if you stream or make content of any description, Elgato have just launched a new range of products, and they've been kind enough to send me some, and I'm going to be reviewing them in full on SJ Technology. But just to give you an idea, this is the Elgato face cam. There'll be a link in the description, so if you want to look at any of Elgato's new products, but I mean, for a webcam, you wouldn't believe the quality. You know, the quality of it is absolutely amazing. As I say, check the link in the description to that, and then keep a lookout on SJ Technology for incoming reviews, boys. So let's start with the basics. You want to go to any major city. In this case, I'm going to show you Ironforge because it's just where I was. So to get your 10% XP buff, really basic, you just click on the top of any one of these poles, and like I say, they're in Stormwind, Orgrimmar, Thunderbluff, Undercity, literally every major city. But you click on it, you just let it mount the buff time up, so it goes up a few minutes every couple of seconds. Like you can see, it's at 42 minutes and it's still climbing, and this is 10% experience gained from killing monsters. Now remember, this is not quest, it is literally just from kills. So even if you're going to go and do dungeons, it's worth getting, especially if you're soloing slave pens as a mage. Let's face it, an extra 10% XP is pretty sick. And then next, in the same vicinity, so wherever you are getting your XP buff, you then make your way to find this quest. So in this case, it's from an Earthen Ring Elder, and it will give you a quest called Unusual Activity. So I want you to go to the Twilight Camp south of Black Fathom Deep's entrance on the Zoram Strand of Ashenvale. So let's jump over there for the next part of the quest. So one minor thing, guys, I don't know if your questie or quest helper or whatever you use in game will actually show you the quests. So I will go in a little bit more detail on this than I ordinarily would, just in case you're not that familiar with the world. As in the old world, maybe you started in TBC or you didn't do a lot in Classic, whatever, but this is where you want to go. So to the Zoram Strand, which is in Ashenvale. So obviously I flew to Astronaut and then make my way over to Zoram Strand, and then I'll just show you exactly here what you're going to do next. Now, honestly, guys, this is probably where you're going to want to call in your guild and get some help, because as you're about to see, this is actually really difficult. It doesn't say it's a group quest, but you want to be on your toes. So let's just jump back in game and I'll show you what I mean. So you need to kill some of these, and solo they are incredibly hard. Now they're level 21. Oh, it's dead. Okay, I'll take that back. I was a little bit worried to begin with, thinking, oh, 21, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to handle this on my own. Quest is done anyway. So once you've done the quest, you'll get this Twilight Correspondence. Now you should have an item in your bag called Totemic Beacon. You'll use that to summon a wolf. Or it should be a wolf if I remember rightly. It's been a while since I've done this, if I'm completely honest, and when I did do it, it was back on retail. But a wolf should come running in now. There we go, there's the wolf. And now we will speak to him when he's good and ready. He's taking his time, don't know why. Hurry up, boy. There we go. Now you hand this quest in, and then we're on to the very last part. So use the Orb of the Crawler to spy upon the new Twilight Camp to the west of Black Fathom Deep's entrance on the Zoram Strand. Sorry, I'm a bit of an idiot, and I forgot to press the record button for this bit, but basically when you get to this post here, you want to use this Orb of Disguise to turn yourself into a crab, or Orb of the Crawler, and then you just come over here and you just listen to them. You know, it's pretty basic. There's not really a lot. Yeah, not a lot to talk about. Just turn yourself into a crab, listen to what these noobs are saying. And then we're simply going to use our Totemic Beacon again to call in our little friend. He'll take about an hour to turn up, and then we hand him. Travel to a capital city and return the Totemic Beacon to the Earthen Ring Elder. So now literally we'll go back to Ironforge, hand in, and job is a good one. Then we can summon a Hoon. Now I'm just going to sort a group out for a Hoon. We'll do it, get some footage, and I'll give you a brief breakdown of the tactics before I even go in. Now, like I said, it's been ages since I've even done this. but I'll give you the basics. And all you need to do basically is last a minute and a half, 90 seconds, and you get add spawn. There's Ahunite Howlstone. God knows if I'm saying that right. But this basically you don't want to stand near. It does a stacking dot, so melee, just stay away. The only person who should be getting hit by this is the tank, unless it's your group's absolutely decked out and you can just nuke them down so fast that it doesn't matter. But really, you want range to be focusing on the Ahunite Howlstones. And then you've got loads of non-elite adds. Honestly, just burst them down. AoE them down, do whatever you want. There'll be spikes that come out of the floor. Just watch out, because obviously you get knocked up in the air and you take full damage. But basically, you just want to last 90 seconds. Once you've lasted 90 seconds, it'll expose the frozen core. This is like 30 seconds of the fight where you can do full damage to the boss, because the boss has got a 75% damage reduction shield on him during the first phase, which is the add phase. So literally just use all your cooldowns, use potions, use whatever you need to do, bloodlust, arrow, and just nuke the core. Ideally, you just want to do this in one phase, which you probably will. So you'll have one add phase, one frozen core phase, done. Obviously, if you don't kill him during the frozen core, you're going to go back to the add phase and do it again. But like I say, you're probably going to do it in one phase, so I wouldn't worry about it. So as soon as you get in, obviously you want to hand the quest in. Current quest, Ahun. And then he will tell you, find Luma Sky Mother in slave pens. So you'll just fight your way along or skip as much as you can, and then before you get to the first boss room, you will see Luna Sky Mother. So you want to kill this patrol that you can see, and then the one that I've marked just over in the distance over there. Then hand the quest in at the stone. Make sure your group's ready. They look ready enough to me. And this will summon the boss. Oh, and of course, once you kill it for the first time, you get a shard of Ahun, which will give you a nice tabard. Alright guys, so hopefully that was useful. You know now how to get your 10% buff. You know where to go to get the quest to be able to summon Ahun, and how to kill him. Now let's have a quick look at the items that he drops, and then I'll bid you farewell. So on normal, first of all, the item level for the necks and the capes. So the capes come from normal, the necks come from heroic, but the item level is exactly the same. So they're basically a badge of justice quality gear, if you like. So decent pre-raid bis, probably decent for most classes for phase 1 bis even. So first up, the staff. This is what most of the casters, especially alt casters, are going to be going in for. So stamina, intellect, spell crit, damage and healing, and 13 MP5. Don't get me wrong, it's not amazing, but if you've got nothing better, it's still a decent weapon to start off with. Maybe just to replace your Bringer of Death, you know, the BOE weapon, which I think is 121 spell damage. So, you know, this is a reasonable upgrade from the blue sort of bis, pre-raid bis item that you might be using. So now let's look at all of the others together. So now we've got the cloak. So Cloak of Frigid Wind, which is crit damage and healing. We've got the Frostlord's War Cloak, which is agility, stamina and attack power, which is really nice. And then the Tanking Cape, which again is very nice. 267 armor, stamina and defense rating. A couple of other bits that drop, which you should really try and get, because you only get to get them once a year, is the enchant for Death Frost. So we'll have a look at that. So basically for spellcast or melee, it has a chance of doing 150 frost damage and reducing the target's melee range and casting speed by 15%. So that's pretty solid. And then Scorched Stone if you're into pet collecting. I'm not personally, but you know, if you are, you want to get absolutely everything you can. You only get a week or so each year to be able to get this, so you might as well try and get it now. So I've come back from the future post-edit where this was already finished and noticed I left the healing cloak out. Not sure why, especially when it was the first item that dropped when I was recording this. Nice healing cape, 46 healing, 16 stamina, 17 intellect, 8 MP5. So yeah, as you can see, it drops a healing cloak as well. Apologies that I left that out when I was going through the list. Then looking at the heroic gear, so this is where it drops the necks. So we'll just bring all the necks up on screen at the same time and go through them. So we've got Amulet of Bitter Hatred, which is agility, stamina, hit and attack power. We've got Choker of Arctic Flow, which is stamina, intellect and damage, well, damage and healing. So your spellcaster, typical spellcaster neck. Amulet of Glacial Tranquility, which is 48 healing and 4 mana per 5, stamina and intellect. So again, is very nice. And then the tank neck. I'm a big fan of the tank neck actually. Stamina, defense and hit. I mean, stamina, defense and hit, 3 solid stats. It's actually a really good tank neck, and it might be one worth picking up just to have at your, at your disposal if you've got an item that lacks hit or lacks defense and you want to, fill it in. So it's a good filler item. So most tanks I would recommend probably trying to pick this up. But that's it. That's all the items. I hope you found the video useful. Obviously, I am going to be putting out New World content regularly as well. There's going to still be more of an emphasis towards the WoW content, but that's drying up a little bit anyway, as in there's not as much to talk about on a weekly basis anymore outside of gold farms and things like that. But there's a lot to talk about when it comes to New World. So if you're interested in both games, this is the channel for you. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.